Well, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines. And you guys did a marvellous job while I've been away for the last 2 weeks, but I'm back.
Glad that's recorded.
Yeah, a bit of unbiased commentary.
I think it was better. It was better than other times when you've been away.
Look, I actually think you did a great job. But you know, one of the roles that I went over to the US...
It was a button, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying that I think next year we're going to improve this, because when I went over to the US, I met up with some people who are communications experts, and you know, fabulous with what they do. They know many people, and you know, something that we have to evolve. We have to grow this show, and we have to use people that we know to be able to do it.
So you're going to video conference next year?
We're going to go international next year, and I have the help of my friend to do it. He's a Twitter expert.
I'm glad you put the... He's a Twitter expert. That's good.
He's a Twitter expert. And this gentleman, I can't mention too many names, but he is going to help us next year.
Oh, you mean this is the guy?
This is the guy.
I thought you were serious for a while. My goodness.
Don't you love that shirt?
I actually thought there was some hope there for him.
Don't you love that? Barry, this is for you, by the way. I brought this up back from the US just for you.
Oh, well done, Barry. That's a score.
Barry wants to wear it.
I'm sure he does.
Barry would love to wear the shirt.
Well, the size of that, he could wear it twice.
Excuse me, fix me. Leave me alone.
Sorry, I didn't mean that.
It's got a big eagle on it. Right.
But I do have to have a serious note. You broke a record last week, so when I watched the show, I saw your record about no wins on the footy tipping.
Yes.
When you played your joker.
Yes.
Everybody that plays it
already. Yeah.
No, but I haven't.
Yeah, we haven't.
I've missed out.
He's got to have a shot at you now.
And he didn't do a good job at having a shot at you. So I
laughed the whole time beforehand. I'm sorry.
I couldn't believe it was just going on and on and on and on. And it was a woeful round. I mean, no team. I did take a couple of rough picks, but for the majority, I picked what most people would have been picking. Yeah. I think everybody did pretty poorly.
I didn't. I got two.
I got two as well.
Oh, so it's average for you.
It's my average. That's right.
It's poor for him. It's average for you.
Ah, dear. So, gentlemen, how's your week? Before we get into the show,
pretty good.
Okay, yeah. So this time, as we do, we're going to go through the round, and actually we're looking at round 24. It is nearly over.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, the regular season is nearly over.
Well, the regular season, you can't wait for it to finish.
I cannot wait.
You can't wait till it's done.
Oh,
yeah.
Please be done.
And then you've got Mad Monday to worry about.
Yes, exactly.
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. Okay, so let's talk about the first game on Thursday night, Campbelltown Stadium. West Tigers played the Manly Seagulls. And honestly, at the beginning, I thought the West Tigers were going to run away with this, but Manly kept coming back.
What do you mean? We scored first.
Yeah,
we're in the lead at half time.
Well, that's the typical. But that's typical of Manly. They come out hard in the beginning, and I thought that they would fall away. But to their credit, they didn't.
No, and in fact, nearly won the game.
And 6 times over the try line and managed to drop it or forward pass it or knock it on. Well done, mighty Eagles.
Yeah. So do you think I mean, they say it doesn't have any influence, but do you think the backroom stuff has affected them?
Yeah, of course, and I think it does at all clubs. So I think, for example, Steve's club's in a bit of trouble because up until just recently...
Why?
No, because Seabold hasn't come out and said, you know, I'm rock solid with you guys. Yeah. I honestly think that it plays a big part on players' futures.
And we discussed his press conference 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. But Seabold had said, talk to me at the end of my contract.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, he got pretty upset.
Yeah.
Nice deflection there.
Look, I got to say, I thought this was the worst performance by the Tigers all year.
Oh, I think the Tigers...
They were deplorable.
They've played a few really bad games. And so if they'd managed to sneak into the 8 on that form, they wouldn't have gone very far.
Well, I don't think they would have gone far either. But, you know, I just thought it was the worst performance by the Tigers.
Did you see that, on a high note, did you see that little pick-up and pass to Cherry Evans by
that
Tom?
Was brilliant.
Yeah. Jack Kazewski.
There's the future.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's the future.
Look, you never get a bad game out of Jake and Tom. You know,
I mean,
Tom has a few errors sometimes. He throws a few forward passes. Well, he throws a lot of forward passes, but
occasionally.
But he's a very talented guy, and that'll improve in his game. And he reads the game very, very well. You know, and his combination with him and Cherry Evans and Jake, very good. So, you know.
Oh, the future is better than second last.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
You consider too that West Tigers actually scored three tries in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that actually makes their performance look a lot better.
That was my point. That they
was.
looked like they were going to run away with it.
Yeah.
But that's happened. That's happened in my club a number of times throughout the year where. And I think up until that point, they were actually probably on top. And then all of a sudden, bang, 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 they're 3 tries. And it's like, how? How does this happen?
So let me ask you, Brian.
Yes.
Trent Barrett is obviously looking like going.
Yes.
Who do you want to replace him? As a Manly supporter,
As a Manly supporter, if I had my way, my choice...
You're CEO of Manly right now. Who do you put in place?
I'm hiring Jeff Tuvey.
Really?
And he won't come back, apparently, as he's been... somebody...
if they offered him the job,
somebody said that they heaped manure on him, but they didn't use those words. And that they did that on him anyway, and he won't go back for that reason.
But they said, if I'm CEO, then the pens aren't there and Tuvey's back. It's a new club.
Sure.
Okay.
Tigers missed 59 tackles.
Yeah.
They were bad.
Oh, terrible.
They were shocking. Like I said, I think that's the worst I've seen them play.
And considering what they had on the line,
and
we'll talk about another game where that was on the line as well later on, but they needed to work harder than that because they needed to win by a lot.
Well, and that's been their problem the last couple of weeks. They haven't been able to win those games that they desperately needed to.
Yeah. And then maybe that justifies why they're not in the 8.
Yeah.
And just on a positive for Manly, there is a positive. I don't know how it is a positive, but we've now...
Sure, we'll find it.
Manly have now lost 4 games by 2 points and 3 games by 1 point.
You shared that with me, yes.
7 games by less than 2 points. I would have loved to have picked up those 7 wins.
So, it just means the Seagulls were rubbish for those 7 games because they should have won them.
They should have won them. They should have won that too.
But, woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to another game on Friday night. To another club that has major coaching problems.
Yes.
The Warriors beat the Panthers 36-16. Honestly, I picked the Warriors in this one, but not with a lot of confidence. And I honestly thought this was going to be a very close game.
But I actually felt confident about the Warriors. I thought that the Panthers, are done and dusted. I think unless Maloney can come back renewed and spark them, I think that they've lost all their confidence.
Well, I'm hearing that they're shopping Maloney around.
I had heard that a few weeks ago.
I'm
and he's the one you'd hang on to.
He's the one you'd hang on to.
I mean, Nathan Cleary hasn't been setting the world on fire.
No, not at all.
And they're questioning about his $1 million price tag now. So.
Yeah. No. And look, I mean, we talked about it before I went away that Gus sacking the coach, they're in the top 4. They're a few weeks out from the semis. By the way, I'm going to sack the coach. I mean, just a dumb thing to do.
He was on a hiding to nothing, and now it's just proven.
It's proven.
Apparently, he was sitting. I don't know, he was sitting in the crowd or in the box, and apparently the Penrith fans who were over there just absolutely gave it to him.
So you should. I mean, you just don't tinker with it. If you're running in 4th spot, why would you tinker with it? Even if you didn't like the guy, he's got you where you need to be.
Yep.
It just didn't make sense.
And on the face of it, they're doing worse without him than they are with him.
Yeah,
and
I mean, Serrano might end up being a great coach, but right now they got problems.
Up to the job.
They got big problems.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. Wow, all 3 of us in agreement.
Yep.
That's unusual. See what happens when I come back?
You come back refreshed and sensible. But the Warriors are probably the dark horses for the comp, I think, at the moment.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I do. There's the only thing that'll stop them is
consistency.
When you think about it, though, the teams in the top 8 that are winning at the moment are only the Warriors and the Sharks. Realistically, and Brisbane. So
South and Roosters and
but Souths have lost 5 out of 6.
We're in a bit of a hole.
They've lost 3 out of 4.
5 out of 6.
Both teams are a little bit of a hole.
5 out of 6, and you won yours by, and the only one you won was a fluky little field goal. You guys are going like bastards.
Well, for 2 games.
Like what?
So
we
like
don't swear on
bastards.
the show.
I just said bastards. busted chairs. But no, in all honesty, once you hit the finals, you've only got to win 3 games. That's it. And are you telling me the Warriors in their current form aren't going to win 3 games?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But would you listen to a man whose team is in 15th place?
No, not at all.
Probably not.
Touche.
And by the way, where is he coming on the footy tipping competition?
Down there somewhere.
That's because I'm not picking the Warriors again in the regular
Down
season.
there,
I've given up. I'm not picking them. I picked the Panthers because I'm not picking them.
but you're picking to win the grand final.
Well, their problem's going to be consistency.
I'm just saying, I think they're the dark horse.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to Friday night as well, where North Queensland absolutely smashed Parramatta 44-6.
Thank you, Parramatta.
Thank you, Parramatta. Thank you, North
Parramatta.
Queensland.
Thank you, Parramatta, for being as hopeless as you are.
I've got to say, I was again very disappointed in this game. I always thought North Queensland, last game at home for Jonathan Thurston, they'd do well, but to get smashed, Parramatta get smashed.
But after what Parramatta dished up last week,
yeah, I know.
it doesn't surprise you though. Look, I think it was a great occasion, and it went precisely the way you would have wanted it to go for Jonathan Thurston. You know, they scored lots of points. He played very, very well. Had a great send-off. He gave a gracious congratulations to Matt Scott and Jake Granville, who were celebrating milestone games. And he's just a quality act. You know, Thurston, he's just quality. There's an interesting story in the paper the other day, just as a bit of a sidelight to this, was that apparently Jonathan Thurston went to Penrith to look around the stadium and the setup.
Yep.
Spoke to Gould, came back to North Queensland, hadn't signed anything, hadn't given an agreement to play, but went back, came in the front door and said, "Love, we're going to Penrith." And his wife said, "Well, if you're going to Penrith, you're going on your own. We're about to have a baby and all my family support is here." And apparently he said that had he got his agent to tell Gus Gould he was going, he would have committed himself, but because he hadn't actually made a concrete decision with the Panthers, that's how close it got.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because we all know that he went down there and it was close. So yeah, interesting.
Can I highlight a player here too? Jack Clifford, the little, really young 5'8".
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to become a superb player.
I haven't seen a lot of him, to be honest, so
I'm quite impressed with him.
Yeah. He's got a cool head on his shoulders for I think it's his third first grade game. So
it looks like he's about 15.
Yeah. So first game in, he was very quiet, and I'm thinking, what's all the rave about this bloke?
Yeah.
Second game, he was a little bit better. That game, he was calling for the ball over Thurston and making a lot of plays.
Yeah.
He does look like a star of the future.
Yeah.
Gee, wouldn't you like Kyle Felt in your team?
Oh yeah.
He's just
I'd take him any day.
You know, his kicking game, his aerobatics, his try scoring, superb.
Try scoring. Do we mention Gavin Cooper?
Yes, we should.
Who has now scored in the last 9 consecutive games? Eight to take the record.
No, to equal the record.
Wasn't this the
ninth?
ninth?
No, I think he broke the record.
No, this is the ninth, and he's broken the record. He was equal with 8. He was equal with 8,
yes,
and now he's
right.
broken it with 9 conseconsecutive games scoring a try.
Yep.
Damn.
That's
impressive
actually,
for an old bloke who's busted.
Something actually impressive if we go back to the Manly game.
Yes.
Cherry Evans taking that shot for goal.
I tell you what, that was a mighty kick.
That was a mighty kick, and they actually measured it out because he was so close to the sideline. It's a 58-metre kick.
Yep.
That he missed by,
and he missed by
1
2
or 2
metres.
metres.
Yeah. I thought it was a mighty, and it was straight as a die. It was going over had it had the length.
Yeah.
You know, I was impressed. I thought he did, and he said, look, it was hit and hope because he knew that was outside of his range.
Yeah.
But what else could you do with 10 seconds to go?
Less than 10.
Yeah.
So,
you got to take the kick, but
but good on him for having a go.
And straight as
it was a great kick.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Saturday's game, Seabus Super Stadium, where the Gold Coast Titans played the Melbourne Storm.
No.
There was a game before
there wasn't a game
yes,
before
there was
that.
A game before that.
There really
let's move to Super Stadium.
Well, you're right. It wasn't a game, but two teams played.
Tom, allow me. Let's move to Super Saturday, first game of the round at GIO Stadium. The Canberra Raiders beating, flogging, putting to the sword the Rabbitohs. That 24-12.
Hardly putting to the sword.
4 tries to 2 for a team that had the potential to win the comp. Against a team that's not making the 8, Steve.
South have still got the potential to win the comp. So there's a problem.
The problem was that you played really well for about 25 minutes.
Yes, we got to 12-0 and half-time was 12-4.
And that was it. And after that, you went missing.
I have no idea what's
Terrible.
going on with the
Absolutely.
Bunnies. I
But
really don't.
got to say, the Raiders played very, very well against the Roosters the week before.
Yes.
Their defence was exceptional, and that's not what they're known for. And it was a low scoring game last week. It was a relatively low scoring game this week.
Okay.
And it came down to their defence.
Souths have an attitude problem. I've got to tell you, that's what I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
That they will fire up. Now, look, you know, in their defence, they've played Melbourne, they've played the Roosters, and then they played Broncos.
Yeah.
3 really hard games. And they did really well against Melbourne. They nearly beat the Roosters. I thought they did well, but they sort of collapsed against Brisbane. And I think they were tired.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting to look a little bit tired. They've had 3 really tough games. But I think against teams like Canberra Raiders, and I fear for the Tigers this week, where they're just thinking, we just have to cruise. And honestly, they're going to have to get switched on because their first game looks like being against the Roosters in the semis.
So the Rabbitohs play the Tigers, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe you said the Raiders play the Tigers.
Look, you know what? I made a call several weeks ago. A shout out to Paul McGregor, and I said, you've got to get all of those forwards.
He watches?
He does.
Okay.
And give them a week off. Because
we've said that for a while now.
A couple of weeks after Origin, it was really noticeable.
Yeah.
St George were hurting with their attack and hurting with their defence every time they hit the ball up and made a tackle. And that intensity dropped off.
Yeah.
I think it's similar to the Rabbitohs. Sam Burgess looks like he's out on his feet.
Yeah, but Sam never had State of Origin.
It doesn't.
Neither did the other brothers.
It doesn't matter. If you're Anthony Seibold right now, you're going to say, you know what, we're going to finish in the top 4. I'd rest half the team.
Yeah, I actually thought the same thing. I'd rest.
I honestly would. I would not even give it a second thought, because they are playing the Tigers, who are a danger team, who can score points, and their defence has been good.
Yeah.
But if you guys go out with the same attitude, you're going to be on another loss, and it's going to be all your big names, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be hard to pick that back up.
Yeah. I think it's too late to rest them. I would have rested them for the Canberra game and bring them back for the Tigers one to give them the stamina to get into the semis. But I fear for them, to be honest with you. But you know what? Hats off to the Raiders. They played really well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
South dropped far too much ball.
Yep.
And the Raiders played extremely well.
It was 60-40 percentage possession basically, and your team completed 64%. You just can't do that.
No, and that's the problem. In the last few weeks, our completions are very low.
Yeah.
So
that's right. Sorry, and I don't mean to take anything away from the Raiders. They're playing like they should have been.
Yep.
They've given their fans a little bit of hope for next year.
Well, that's what they did.
Unlike some
that's
clubs.
what they did. Yeah.
Well, a couple of players are leaving too, which is disappointing. I mean, they're losing Austin and Paulo.
Shannon Boyd.
So a couple of big blokes and a useful utility player.
Okay, let's move on to Seabus Super Stadium, where the Melbourne Storm just got over the Gold Coast Titans 10-8.
And this was a just.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. They just got over them.
Yes, I won't mention that.
Well, I mean, the Titans scored in 4th minute, and then the Storm scored twice just after half time, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked pretty dour. I actually watched the highlights because I had other commitments, but it didn't look like a very exciting game.
No, it was.
But the Storm hung in there, you know.
Yep.
I thought it was quite a good game.
Yeah.
The Titans really surprised.
Mm-hmm. I expected them to score more points, even against the Storm. So obviously it was a highly defensive game.
Yeah. Look, I mean, lot of meters run. I thought it was, desperate last second defence. There was one try there. Addo Carr came across the field and rolled over Anthony Don, was it, on his back over the try line.
Yeah.
Just it was really good. Like for the sake of an inch, that game could have been won by the Titans.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really, really good. I enjoyed that game.
Yep,
I did.
Becoming a Melbourne supporter, are you?
No, never ever over my dead body will I be a Melbourne supporter.
Okay,
starts with them.
Let's
Like
move
Manly.
on to Allianz Stadium on Saturday night as well, where again another team, the Roosters, looked very tired, beaten by the Broncos 22-8.
Yep. And I missed the first half because I had commitments in the afternoon with my family. They put on a lovely dinner for us before we go away. So I missed the first half. watched the score with dismay, and I got to see the second half, and we didn't get any better, unfortunately. I mean, it was actually a 2-0 scoreline in the second half.
Yeah.
So neither team could get any. But I noticed 36th minute they score again. Brisbane does that to us every single time. We just let them in the last moments of the first half. We looked tired. Looked disorganised in attack. I'm hoping part of that is because Kiri came back. He actually put on the one try we scored.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that perhaps they need another week for that to gel again, because he's been away for 3 weeks. We really miss Jared. I think Jared is not the biggest forward in the game, but to that team, he is so important. And I think we really missed that. He really leads by example.
And Dylan Napa should have got 6 weeks.
Oh, my goodness.
He's going to be out anyway.
8 weeks.
That just shows you know nothing about the game of rugby league, Steve.
You do not tackle with your
And it was
head.
Sam Burgess. Sam Burgess has been getting 2 weeks when he should have been getting 7.
My goodness.
Right, he's 3 times this season.
Excuse me, Sam doesn't headbutt in
No,
tackle.
they just swings his arm. And
It wasn't. Excuse me. Look, allow me. For anyone who hasn't seen it, go and look at it. McCulloch darts out of dummy half. He moves to his right.
Yeah.
Napa moves to his right. McCulloch, being a smaller man, darts back on the left-hand side. Napa then falls a good 30
he wasn't
centimetres
falling.
and lands into him.
He propelled himself forward.
How was he going to stop him if he didn't propel himself forward, Steve?
And he
How?
was about to wrap his arms around, so it
He
wasn't a shoulder
He had
tap.
his arms behind him. He wasn't
His
Yeah,
arm
he was about to grab
excuse
him.
me. His
Sorry.
arm was out. Hit him shoulder and head. It was an unlucky
He
accident.
should have got 3
There
weeks
was
the last time. He should
nothing
have got
wrong
6
with
weeks
that
this time.
Well,
tackle.
I agree with you. You probably should have got penalised the first time.
No, there was nothing wrong with that tackle.
No, there's
nothing.
everything wrong with the tackle.
Well,
I can't believe you're saying that.
You can,
Far out.
because I am.
Honestly, you have got no idea sometimes. Sometimes, Steve, I think, oh my God, you're a very intelligent, wise man. No idea this time.
Anyway, the point is,
That's fighting words,
Actually, you
by the
know
way.
what? I'm going to put a poll on Facebook to see what people think. I think I can do that.
All right. You should be polled too, by the way.
so the point being,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
going to miss 3 weeks. If
They should
we-
afford it, I
if-
tell you.
If we keep winning, if we win through the finals, then he'll make it for the grand final. If we lose the first semi, he'll make it to the preliminary final, assuming we keep going through. But honestly, I mean, Napa doesn't offer us a lot. I mean, he throws his weight around and he hits hard.
Wow.
No, seriously.
Can,
When you watch him attack, you watch him run the
excuse me,
ball
Can
up.
I just say, have you read any of the player polls? Dylan,
Yeah.
according to the players, Dylan Napa is the hardest hitter
Yeah.
in the game.
Well, harder than Sam, though,
in
right?
terms of attack, he offers nothing.
Let me tell you, I would trade 3 attacking players for 1 defensive player at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But seriously, I mean, he offers very little in attack. He never makes any post contact meters. He hits the line and he falls down.
But that's not his job. His
maybe
job
not.
is probably just to hit. And that's what the coach probably says. I don't want you to carry the ball.
Just
Couldn't care
hit
less.
it.
Just smash it. Every time someone gets the ball,
Well, I'll have to
you
watch
hit
with a different perspective anyway. Look, disappointing performance. Look, I think the Broncos, when Milford plays well, the Broncos play well.
Yeah. Look, Brian, you said the
Yeah.
Warriors are your dark horse. Broncos are mine.
Yeah, see, the Broncos, I think, are just playing the game.
That's what you have to do.
No, but the
Isn't that what we're doing here?
no. But the Warriors are playing with a flair and abandon that is dangerous. I think to the teams above them. I think you can counter the Broncos. I think the Rabbitohs last week and the Roosters this week were poor.
Well, the other thing is you could take 12 points away from that because we made dumb errors like 3 metres out from the try line.
You can't take 12.
Took the opportunities and scored.
Yeah,
they were tries we shouldn't have given away.
Yeah.
You know, that would have put a different perspective on the game.
Right.
They
So-
still would have won.
So that was a Saturday night where the top 3 teams all struggled.
Yes.
Because honestly, I think Melbourne struggled against the
Oh, they did, yeah.
the Gold Coast Titans, which leads you to the team now coming 4th, which is Cronulla over Newcastle, winning 38 to
These
12.
are my Smokies, the Sharks.
They're
Yeah.
not Smokies. They're like in the top 4.
Oh,
Like,
I know,
they're
no,
100%.
but I mean,
So you got
There's
they
nothing
are,
smoky about them.
they
top-
are just coming
Yeah,
good
they
at
are.
the right
The top
time.
3 are faltering. Here come the Sharks. The Sharks winning 38 to 12.
Yes, worrying, and I think
By the way, I don't think Newcastle offered a lot.
No.
To be honest with you.
But I think having Wade Graham back made a huge difference.
Most so.
His kicking game and that left edge attack was so much better with him there. So just a word about Fafita, Dugan.
Do we have to?
Well, they play for the team.
Let's put it this way: they won't be invited to this show.
No, they certainly won't.
Am I allowed to say dumbasses?
No, you're not.
You already have.
Okay, I won't say
Can
it.
you
then.
bleep that part?
Yeah, we won't bag them.
I didn't say anything. I just said, am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Right.
No, they won't be invited to this
honestly, you know what?
They're fools.
I think the NRL needs to step in and do something because Paul Gallen, was it 18 months ago, put out a tweet that was uncomplimentary and he was pillared from, he was absolutely nailed for that.
$50,000 fine.
That's right. These guys have done 5 times worse.
Yep.
And they got called into the CEO's office for a chat.
The toothless NRL.
Yeah.
Honestly,
useless.
To a club, by the way, which is losing its major sponsor next year.
Yes.
So, honestly...
They should be taking that off Fafita's salary.
Yeah.
Seriously. You should be taking... They should have the ability to say, we're going to fine you $150,000 because that's what, that's a small portion of what we're going to lose in sponsorship.
Yeah.
Whereas we still have to keep paying you.
After the week before where he was going on at his coaching box.
Yeah.
And there's different stories about who he was pointing at and what he was really saying.
That's right. That's right. He was pointing up at the coach's box to the guy on the sideline. Yeah, we believe
it. The point is, they need him, and they're not gonna get rid of him.
Well, you know what? Anyway, right. I think they've crossed a line, a big line.
Absolutely.
So look,
it was worth mentioning, wasn't it?
The Sharks, I tell you what, they're impressive. I don't think they have the flair of teams like Melbourne South and the Roosters, but I tell you what, they hang in for 80 minutes.
They're grinding and they bully you. They're bullies.
Yeah.
They're bullies. That's the way they play. They just bully you.
And it works for them.
And Valentine Holmes is up there with one of the best players in the comp at the moment.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he's not figuring in the Dally M's. Is it just because he's come into form in the latter part of the season?
It's too late. Yeah, that's why.
Jeez, but I tell you what, he's playing.
Because he really wasn't playing that well at the beginning.
He could have the influence on the finals that Michael Morgan had.
Oh, without doubt.
On the finals last year.
Without doubt. All right, last game of the round. Wow. Last game of the round.
Barry?
Jubilee Oval, where the St George Illawarra Dragons went down to the Dogs 38-0.
Now, can we set this up? They had Lance Thompson's memorial.
Yes.
They had Nightingale leaving the club. They had Norm Proven. They honoured Norm Proven. His daughter was there. And they needed to win to stay in the top 4.
Yes.
What other motivation do you need to play? And they got a duck egg. Seriously.
They got booed off the field at halftime and at full time.
Yeah. And I tell you what, they were beaten by a superior side. It wasn't like they were beaten by nobodies. Other Bulldogs played extremely well.
So again, before this round, the top 4 teams, because it was Melbourne, Roosters, South, Dragons, just playing deplorably.
Yes.
It's so unusual for this time of year to have this sort of performance.
Well, you look at the 8, and we'll look at this in a minute, but there's this, there's 4 points between, there's really 4 points between 7 of the 8.
Yes, true.
It's ridiculous.
But the Dogs, superb.
Yeah,
they've been doing the last few weeks. What have they won? 4 out of the last 5 or something like that.
Yep.
What they've done the last few weeks is just astounding.
And next year will be a great building year for them.
Yeah.
They've discovered Lachlan Lewis.
Yeah.
They've got Reece Martin.
Lachlan Lewis. Apparently, he was being shopped around last year because they didn't want him.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So Lachlan Lewis. They've discovered Reece Martin, Remus Smith.
Yep.
And they're going to lose the Morris boys, which will be a big blow for them.
But they've got
the basis of a really good team.
And Moses Ambai went earlier in the year. Aaron Woods went earlier in the year, and we've all said, how crazy, why would you do it?
And good on Dean Pay for saying to them, what we do on the field, transfer that, what we do on the training pad, transfer that to the field, don't worry about the ladder, don't worry about the scoreboard, just play the way we can play.
See,
and they've been in love. They've been loving it.
I think Bulldogs are one of those clubs that's similar to Manly, where you've got to understand the culture of the club to be successful. And
Dean
Pay gets it. He gets what makes that club tick.
Yep.
And I think that's part of the reason they're successful.
And probably the board changes has made that difference too.
Yeah, well, he's been allowed to play with a free hand.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess halfway through the year they were thinking, make whatever changes you want because you're not doing anything.
That's right.
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So good on him. I think it's a great performance, and it was great to watch. It was the entertainers.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. St Fade Illawarra.
Clemmer had
St Fade.
St Fade.
Clemmer had massive meters. I don't know what he ran, but geez, massive meters. He was terrific.
Well, I mean, do we want to say any more about the Dragons, or just...
They're just sad. They're just Barry. They're sad.
They're tired. They're busted. And if people out there are saying Daly Cherry Evans is overpaid, what's Ben Hunt?
Oh yeah,
because he's not leading them to a comp.
His confidence must be an absolutely all-time low. So I'm not going to bag him because I don't want to hear bad things about.
I think
he's going into depression.
He's sensational. He's a great player, but my goodness, he's not leading them at the moment the way that they need to be led.
No. Not at all. And I mean, even having Gareth wouldn't have made a difference in the school.
No.
Well, the way it's looking, they're going to play the Broncos in the first final, possibly. Yep. If nothing changes, and that's they're going to go out very quickly.
Smashed. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the round, gentlemen, for Rock Australia Radio.
The ladder, you mean?
The ladder.
What did I say?
You said the round. You're rusty.
Yeah,
it's
listen,
okay.
I'm tired.
Rusty.
I'm rusty. It's appropriate, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm rusty. Yeah.
Is he going to read it out?
I'm going to read it out. In first position on their own, we have the Melbourne Storm on 34 points. We have the Roosters, the Rabbitohs, and the Sharks rounding out the top four with 32. Then we have the next four clubs: the Panthers, the Dragons, the Broncos, and the Warriors, all on 30.
And there's not a lot of for and against difference between those four clubs.
Theoretically, it could be the Storm out in front, and then everybody else on for and against next.
Yeah, we're lucky. We've got a very high for and against, so we're pretty safe in second, I think.
That may be the case. In ninth place, we have the Tigers, who have now missed their opportunity. In 10th place, the Raiders, looking good for 10th place. In 11th, we have the Knights. Do I have to keep going? 11th, we have the Knights with 20 points.
I'll take over if you like.
No, you're a rat bag. We have the Canterbury Bulldogs and the Gold Coast Titans on 18. We have the Cowboys and the Sea Eagles on 16. And we have Parramatta
today.
That's 14th and 15th, Tom.
Yeah, good.
And in stone motherless last, we have the Eels.
And the Eels will be staying there because even if they win on the weekend, they won't have. I mean, the difference is 50. They've got to win by substantial.
Well, if they win by 20 and Manly lose by 30.
Yeah, if they win by 20,
I see you've already mapped this out.
I'm scared.
Because I look at that, and Melbourne's going to finish first. Yeah, I got no doubt about that at all.
Well, they're playing the Panthers at home.
Yeah, but again, the for and against is going to. I mean, the Roosters are 32 behind. So again, it's got to be a substantial loss for it to happen.
Well, even if they lose, look, the Roosters can put 40 points on Parramatta.
Yeah.
The Cowboys did it.
Nice.
At worst, South may drop to fourth. I can't see them dropping anything below that because it's 50 points then between them and the Panthers at the moment. So I think short of the changes, a few shuffles, that's your top four, that's your bottom four.
Yep.
That's it. Yep. So that's what we're looking at round one. We're looking at Melbourne playing Cronulla.
Let's look at that next week. No hypotheticals.
Yep.
Oh, come on.
No hypotheticals.
No.
And you know what? He's going away just when we should be watching South and the Roosters play a semi-final.
And I'm really sad about that.
We'll bag him
honestly.
non-stop.
Oh, we will too.
Yeah, well, I'm really sad about that because I wanted to be there for the finals.
All right.
And I want to see the women's premiership as well. I'm looking forward to that too.
Okay. Any questions without notice, Steve?
No, I haven't got any.
Thank goodness.
No. We'll keep moving because we're running short of time because you guys have talked too much again. Have you noticed?
We didn't go over time when we were just the two of us.
I was actually going to say the last 2 weeks have been very good. Okay, let's move on to the last round.
Thank goodness.
Of the season, of the regular season. Thursday night, ANZ Stadium, South Sydney Rabbitohs against the West Tigers.
The Tigers now have nothing to play for.
Nothing to play for. They should not even turn up.
No.
Like 1908, they should not even turn up.
That's right.
1909, one of those.
That's one way to get a false premiership.
Yeah. They still think they won it.
Hey, listen. If your team doesn't turn up and you kick off, you win. Okay, that's just the way it was.
Yeah. Didn't beat anybody though.
Rabbitohs at home for a top 4 position will beat the Tigers.
By how much?
If they play like they did against Manly, you should win by 20 odd.
Hang on. Remember how South played against the Raiders?
Yeah.
The Tigers are farewelling a couple of players, so I think that they'll put in. I think it'll be a tight game.
Yeah, I'm going for the Rabbitohs, but
I think the Rabbitohs will win.
I think they'll be reasonably tight. I don't think it's going to be an easy win.
20 plus.
I'm hoping. Okay, Mount Smart Stadium on Friday night, gentlemen. Warriors play the Raiders.
This is going to be a good game. I think two teams that like to throw the ball around.
Yep.
And the Raiders have shown really good defence lately. So I'd say Warriors at home.
Match of the round.
Match of the round?
Yeah.
You got the Storm and Panthers coming up.
Who cares?
On previous form, that's not the match of the round.
Okay.
Match of the round. These teams are both in form, and I'm going the Raiders because I'm not picking the Warriors.
I've got another match of the round. I think anyway.
Yep.
So who are we going? I'm going Warriors by a bit.
I'm going Raiders but at least 2 tries.
I think the Warriors got everything to play for.
So, but that hasn't meant anything to them. And the
last week,
the last 2 weeks, the Raiders have beaten the Roosters and South.
Yep.
Anyway,
but they're not at home.
I'm on the fence. I'm going to splinter.
Come on,
this one.
bag in.
He's already said his splinters.
Yeah, and I do it once every 6 weeks. You do
it every
6
second
times
game.
every week.
Yeah,
and that's what you say every week.
It's true.
Okay, let's move on to Amy Park, where the Melbourne Storm play. Oh, hang on.
Another home game for the Melbourne Storm.
Melbourne Storm play the Penrith Panthers.
Well, a few weeks ago, I would have said that the Panthers would have given a run for their money. But you've also got to remember that the Storm were injured, and they played pretty lacklustre. I mean, depends on, is Maloney coming back to this game?
Yep.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be a tight one. I'd like to think the Panthers would win, but I don't see it.
Storm
for me.
I just don't want the Storm to keep winning. Well, that's only the last game of the season.
I don't think the
really
Panthers
matter.
can stop them. I think the wheels have fallen off.
Yeah. I worry about the Panthers.
Gus made a tactical decision to get rid of the coach, thinking it would motivate the players, and it's done.
Well, it's thrown him into disarray.
It's done the opposite.
Yeah. Sorry, Bradley.
Yeah, Brad. I hope they prove me wrong, but I don't think so.
Yeah. No, I'm going Storm in this one. McDonald Jones Stadium, Newcastle Knights. The match of the round. Newcastle Knights against St George Illawarra.
It could be the mismatch of the round. I'm going to back the Knights. It's Old Boys Day at McDonald Jones Stadium, and the Dragons are just no confidence.
Yeah, no Gareth Widdop, and no what's his name, the big prop, Vaughan.
And they've got no confidence.
Yeah.
Sorry, is Ponga going to play this week? Did Ponga play last week?
No.
He's a week-to-week proposition.
No, he's not. Well, he didn't play last week.
Yeah.
I doubt that he'll
They'd
play.
be foolish to play him now. Honestly, they've got nothing to play for.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
And I still think they'll beat the Dragons.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've been on the Dragons all year.
So have I. Yeah.
And they've just disappointed me over the last probably 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Massively.
Knights for me.
I've gone the Knights in this week. Okay, Seabus Super Stadium, Gold Coast Titans against North Queensland Cowboys.
Oh, go the Titans. Go the Titans.
No. To me,
It's not going to affect you.
Yeah, it does. Everything affects me. At those, if the Titans
You're
win,
banking on a miracle from the Eels.
I'm scared. Okay.
Well, you are playing. I see you're playing.
We'll beat the Broncos.
And where you playing? So therefore you shouldn't be worried.
We'll beat the Broncos.
Well, you shouldn't be worried about anything else.
We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, continue on. Sorry.
Okay. Look, honestly, to me, North Queensland in this one in a canter because they're going to Jonathan Thurston's last game. They will perform.
Yeah.
Jonathan Thurston will perform.
I think the Titans will be competitive, but I think the Cowboys will win it.
Mind you, full house too. Apparently, it's a sellout.
Yeah.
For Thurston's last game.
Yep. Great occasion.
Right?
I'm death riding the Cowboys. Sorry,
Yeah, but who do you think is going to win?
the Cowboys.
All right, then we go to Parramatta or ANZ Stadium where the Parramatta Eels are playing the Sydney Roosters.
Hopefully the Roosters by plenty.
By 40, please.
Oh,
by
I'll
40.
take that. I'll take that. Our attack's just not been on. It's there, it's there, but they're falling over in the last tackles. It's just not fluid. It's not crisp.
Yeah.
I tell you what, big discovery. Not a discovery, but most improved Rooster player this year, Joseph Manu. This last second half of the season, he's been absolutely superb. And I was ready to drop him, honestly. First half of the season, I thought he's doing nothing for us. But geez, I tell you what, he's been playing really well.
Can we, talking about players who were before who retired, Latrell Mitchell, he's gone very quiet lately.
He's not getting the ball.
They've gone back to not giving him the ball.
Yeah, he's not getting the ball. And that's why I think Kiri coming back hopefully will make a difference to that. Madison just wasn't able to do that. That's that structure that was scoring so many points. But also, the Broncos put a lot of attention on him the other day. So, hopefully Roosters by plenty. I don't know about you.
I'm thinking Roosters.
Not that I want them to win, but that's who I think it would.
This is the match of the round.
Which one? The next one?
This one's the match of the round.
Okay, ANZ Stadium, Canterbury Bulldogs against the Cronulla Sharks.
Yeah, the way the Dogs have been playing, they could easily win this game. I don't think it'll be easy, but I actually think that they can score enough points to beat the Sharks. And I think that'd be good for the Sharks to lose, because I think they need to stop their momentum. Don't like the momentum the Sharks have got.
They struggled to beat them in round 11 the last time they played.
Yeah, but the Dogs weren't playing anything like in round 11
Dogs
as they were
team.
now.
Different Dogs team.
No? Where are you going, Brian? What are you thinking? Give us your thoughts.
My thoughts are, I know the Dogs have been playing well, and they shut St George out of the game, but St George are not playing well. The Sharks are winning and scrapping, and unfortunately, I think the Sharks.
If this was at Shark Park, I think I'd be going the Sharks. But
See,
because it's
That's
at
St
ANZ,
George. It's the Dogs.
Yeah, the Dogs. I'm thinking that. But the Dogs shut St George out last game.
Oh, they're not going to
no,
shut
the
out
Bulldogs. The Bulldogs shut St George out.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
the Dogs
the
Dogs. I said they shut him out last game.
Yeah, okay.
What are you talking about, St George? I actually think the opposite. I think Cronulla will not struggle, but I think they're more complacent at home than they are away, and I think that will probably hold them in just as good stead. So,
So you're going Dogs?
no.
Okay.
I'm going Dogs.
You're going Dogs.
You're going.
Steve?
No, I'm going Sharks.
Okay.
I can't imagine.
And you're playing your Joker this week.
Yeah.
Last week of the round.
I've got to play a Joker.
Now the real match of the round.
Okay, Suncorp Stadium, Brisbane Broncos against the Manly Sea Ducks. It's the last chance I'm going to get to say it. Come on, Brian.
You will, because we're not playing finals.
Well, look, Broncos at home, they're buoyed, no pun intended, and I think they'll beat the Seagulls, who I've got to give them credit, always try their best, but I just don't know.
Yeah, we've got a very good record against Brisbane.
Yeah, you played your home game against them during the season, didn't you?
And beat them
in the Bronco at Suncorp.
and beat them.
Yeah.
We've got a very good record against Brisbane in Brisbane.
Right.
So I'll be. Come on, Eagles.
Well, I won't be disappointed if you beat them, but I can't see it.
Really?
I can't see it.
I think you've got not much to worry about.
No. I'm sorry, Brian. You're going to get smashed.
I'm actually just looking over previous games since 2011. The Broncos have only beaten us twice.
There'll be 30 points. I'll beat you by 30.
We will beat them by 30. Yes, thank you, Steve.
No. You get them by 30. So Parramatta do beat the Roosters, which I'm hoping for.
Yep.
And you could actually... I'm not hoping that you get last. I'm not hoping. I just want to see the Roosters get beat.
Just small man hatred comes out. It just comes out of
It's
his
called
face.
bragging rights. That's
Yeah.
all. Just getting over the top of you. That's all.
Small man hatred.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a
All right. So time is.
small-minded. Sorry, not small man. Small-minded hatred. That's what it is.
Oh, without
A
doubt.
rabbit.
You haven't,
Small-minded
what are you
hatred.
saying? You're saying Steve's not small.
I'm saying small-minded hatred.
Yeah, no, not small man. No.
No.
Oh my
Ah,
goodness, Tom,
good.
that's just rude. Rude. You know the camera ads.
Hey, look, it's adding my double chin.
So I got the beard.
All right. Okay. That brings
Sometimes
us
I
to a
wonder
close.
why I speak at all.
Yeah, so do we. So, Brian, anything you want to add before we go?
Oh yeah, Trent Barrett to be coaching the St George Illawarra Dragons next year.
Well,
Really?
certainly a cascade's going to happen, and I personally think that McGree is going to get the boot.
That's right,
because
for
it's
Barrett.
got a new owner. No, and I think Bennett will go there, and that'll start the cascade off, and Seabold will be going to the Broncos, which you're not
No,
happy
no,
about.
Maguire-
Seabold's not going anywhere.
And then-
Maguire will end up at the Broncos. Bennett will finish his contract, and Maguire will end up there.
No, I
But
think
Barrett
I
will
think
be at
it's
the
gonna
Dragons next year.
Start after the grand final. I think it'll all go pear shaped for all the coaches.
No.
Mark my word.
Is that your final?
Yep.
Okay.
What, have you got anything to tell him, Dad?
Yeah, because you can't beat that.
There's been nothing intelligent all day, so. So you're going to be away the next week, so it's only going to be Brian and I?
No, I'll be here next week.
Oh, you'll be here next week?
Yeah,
Next week
because
after.
don't fly it till Wednesday.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
for the finals.
Yeah, that's
Who would book overseas holidays for the rugby league finals?
Well,
I know.
it's because of what my wife wants to do during that period of time.
So who wears the
I'm
pants
just
in
a
your
good
family?
husband. I'm just a good husband. I'm
Who
a
wears the
loving,
pants in your
compassionate, caring,
Loving,
giving
compassionate,
husband.
caring.
Who wears the pants in your family?
Well, I'm wearing them at the moment. So.
All right, thank you all for watching. This is... I've forgotten where we're at.
NRL from the sidelines.
With Tom, Brian and Steve. Thank you for watching. We'll do it all again next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.